Coming to you live from Mexico, Cabo, after a powerful experience facilitating for this summit here where 100 phenomenal visionaries were brought together to deepen and expand. And my experience was wild wealth. So we did a somatic activation experience with opening the nervous system to steward, hold, and receive wilder flows of wealth. And one of the things that has come through for me that I want to share for you, I've been dropping codes inside of Wealth Codes, a living library that was created this week from all of the 8-figure mentors, teachers that I've been receiving from, and allowing it to pour through into you inside of that space. And we're having a live Here We Grow live expansion portal that is March 5th through 7th, where I am going to be guiding you through an experience online. You have lifetime access through the wealth codes that I am going to be transmitting to you. And one of the ones that came through right now that I wanted to come in here and share with you is around the conditions that are required for wilder wealth. So I work with the analogy garden a lot and regenerative agriculture versus monoculture agriculture. And so I want to bring in this analogy and tie it into your body's capacity to experience wilder wealth through some stories of what I've gone through in this past couple of weeks and the expansion that's been happening. So you're in a garden, and let's say you are a sunflower or a rose or a daisy or some kind of beautiful flower. And the soil is dry and dense and lacking any nutrients. When you are in that environment, it's a lot harder to thrive. It's a lot harder to grow. It's more expected and more normal or familiar in that environment to survive, to be put in some kind of survival state because you don't have the necessary environment in order to thrive. One of the things that Myron Golden was speaking into, who's an extraordinary billionaire and was sharing some massive wealth codes that I've been dropping inside of our wealth codes telegram, get in there if you're not already in there, is around how wealth equals skill set and tool set. And what I add in is your nervous system capacity. It is how your body, how your nervous system works with the skill set and the tool set that you have. And in different environments, you are going to be given, or you're going to have different resources that are available for you to be able to expand your capacity to hold more wealth. So I've been on this journey this last few weeks. So this is February right now. And the beginning of February began in Brazil, where I was just deeply, richly immersed in the culture and the vibrancy of the life there. Just dancing, all different kinds of dance. It was Afro-Brazilian dance, and going to ballet, folklore ballet, going to incredible cooking classes and different pre-carnival party ceremonial experiences where there's live music playing and everyone is just having the time of their life, really deeply enjoying themselves, feeling so present, feeling so alive. For me, that is one form of wealth. That is getting to feel so deeply connected to my body, to my spirit, to my heart, to land. We were playing in the ocean. The next week, I was pulled. This was a very spontaneous decision to go to this conference, Funnel Hacking Live in Vegas, which I've been sharing with you about inside of Wealth Codes. And during that experience, I was deeply immersed in a room of millionaires, billionaires who are making really massive change. And the way that they are relating to money, the way that they are expanding money is to impact as many people as they can from a very heart-centered, devotional way, right? And so billionaires that are impacting millions through the way that they are stewarding wealth and resources. Being in the room, that in and of itself, and getting to learn up close and personal, that is already one form of wealth that was happening, right? And then I went from that environment into here in Mexico, where I just led that incredible experience, the somatic wealth expansion experience, and surrounded by incredible community, heartfelt, spiritual entrepreneurs and visionaries that are so deeply connected to our ability to be able to transform ourselves to transform our world. I give you those examples because those are all three very tangible examples of putting my body in environments that were expansive for my own wealth. Back to the analogy with the garden, that difference between being a butterfly or a daisy or a sunflower or a rose, where the soil is more dry, or maybe the sun is constantly not making any contact with the plants that need that form of nutrients, need that form of energy, versus the flower that is in the garden where it is surrounded by wild overflow and wealth, where it's getting the exact nutrients it needs, where there's steady rain, steady sunshine, where the air is clean and high quality, where the standard of living is supporting the body of that being to thrive, right? And this is what I do. This is what my clients do. This is what has massively expanded the wealth for me and my clients in the short periods of time that it's happened with and beyond money, is by putting your body, putting your nervous system in the kinds of environments where it is set up to thrive. These are conditions for wild wealth. So you can notice the kinds of spaces that you're occupying, even when you're by yourself, the kinds of spaces that you are occupying mentally, emotionally, physically. And if those conditions are conducive to some kind of survival or scarcity state, whether this is the thoughts you're thinking, the beliefs that you're having, whether it's scarcity programming that trigger or activate or keep you stuck or keep you going back into a baseline of some form of survival or some base of scarcity. And I see this with millionaires that I work with. So it doesn't matter how much is in the account. It matters your body's relationship to the account. And it matters the way that your nervous system is experiencing the wealth in a fully lived, embodied way. One of the things that I get feedback on the most from my clients, from my peers, from my mentors is how embodied I am. This is why my clients love to get to work with me up close and personal, because when you are in a more proximate space, when you're closer up to the experience of what you desire, your body, your nervous system calibrates to that as a new normal, as a new baseline. This is why in that event that I was in last week, I started to normalize for the first time what it would feel like to have $1 million months in a way that was easeful and pleasurable and juicy and regenerative, where before I was even in that room, before my body and my nervous system was in that environment, that didn't even feel like something that could be easeful or pleasurable in a closer or sooner reality, right? It might have been a lot further away, or it might have been something that had stories or encoding that it was going to take XYZ, right? That was happening unconsciously. And this is what I see happen with a lot of the women that come into my world that have either been capped at an upper limit, whether you're at the 10K months, 50K months, 100K months, 200K months, wherever you are, where the next level feels like it's going to bring you back into some kind of survival or stress based state, right? And how you transmute this, how you alchemize this, is by being in the conditions, creating the conditions, and investing in being in the conditions of where wild overflow allows for wealth to feel really supportive for your body, for your nervous system to be able to thrive in. So my transmission for you is, where and how can you right now be increasing or leveling up or expanding on the conditions in which allow for you to thrive in a wilder atmosphere, a wilder environment for your wealth to grow, right? And this, for me and for my clients and for you, has so much to do with putting your body in the rooms where it happens, right? Getting to familiarize yourself and getting to repattern yourself and getting to rewire your body and your nervous system to where the things that the money, the cash flow, the holding of it, the stewarding of it, the receiving it, where it used to have all of these different fears or resistance that pushed it away, they actually get alchemized. That fear gets alchemized, and you rise into the woman where it is normalized and where it's easeful and where it's pleasurable and where it gets to turn you on. This is what we do inside of our containers, right? This is what we do inside of my intimate containers. I am in right now. This has been behind the scenes, but I'm bringing it in more and more, the behind the scenes of the pre-party for Wild Overflow. And the difference between Wild Overflow Mastermind and other masterminds is that there are masterminds where there are 50 people, where there are 100 people, where there are 200 people, and you are in an environment where you can get lost, or where your nervous system or your body isn't getting the kind of attention or getting the kinds of support that it actually needs to be able to thrive, right? So when we think about the different plants I was talking about before, bringing that back in, like the flowers, the roses, or the sunflowers, you can think about how each plant, each creature needs specific things in order to thrive in the conditions that are going to allow for it to have the wildest wealth. It needs tending to, right? If there isn't enough care and support that is nurturing your nervous system to be able to expand in its wildest wealth, it will stay constricted where it is at. This is why this work is so important to me. Somatic work, it's different from business coaching, even though it includes business coaching, and it absolutely business coaching is a part of it. It is that somatic money work specifically, right? The somatic money work that I'm doing with my clients, this is the kind of work where your unique nervous system gets to calibrate to the wildest overflow that's unique to your blueprint and your business ecosystem, because you have specific patterns, ancestral encoding, systemic conditioning that has been passed down by for centuries that is prevented, or that has in some way made it feel like in your body, but based off your beliefs, based off your stories, based off of your lived experience, made it feel like the next expansion of your wildest overflow is going to come at a cost that you don't want to pay. And what we're doing inside of my world, and what we're doing inside of Wild Overflow Mastermind, is we're entirely rewriting the story so that you get to be one of my clients who has the kinds of stories where you're making twice as much, you're making 10 times as much, and it's actually easier than it's ever been before, and you're having so much fun. And so these environments that I've been in person, over the last few weeks have massively, radically expanded my nervous system capacity for wilder wealth and overflow and juiciness and richness on a whole new level. And I want to invite you into the opportunity to get to have that experience for yourself in person, because I know how massively in-person experiences have entirely transformed my life, especially in the past 7 months. And if you've been up close and personal with me, then you know, because you've witnessed it in real time, if you're in my my more private spaces or my more intimate spaces already. And you'll get to find out when you join into them this year. So because of that, I'm offering a special right now. There is a Here We Grow live in-person expansion portal happening September 4th through 6th. And when you join by this Sunday, you will be able to join at a fraction of the price. My in-person immersions are normally $5,555 as a starting price. And this 3-day in-person immersion includes 2 days of Living Brave Live and a phenomenal women's conference that'll be 1,000 other visionary leaders that are speaking and sharing and loving and supporting each other in a regenerative ecosystem, just like we have here, except on a whole new level of in-person magic and medicine and wisdom. And then we're going to have an intimate, liberated leadership luxury retreat the day after to integrate and implement everything that you learned directly into your wealth, into your relationship to money, into your business, so that you can allow yourself to transform in those 3 days as much as it would have taken you 6 months, 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, because that's what happens when you create the right conditions for you to thrive in. So the Here We Grow expansion portal is available by itself, and you can message me directly to apply and to get more details for that, or you will get that experience included inside of Wild Overflow Mastermind as a bonus. So if you join VIP, Here We Grow Expansion Portal VIP, or if you pay in full, you will get that included. And because we're in the pre-party for Wild Overflow, it's not in full launch yet. It's been teasing and dripping and juicy and letting the slow trickle, because that's what's turning me on in this launch right now, this opening right now. You will get in at an insane price. It's never going to be this low again. It's only rising higher. And I want you to be able to allow for yourself to be in the conditions of a long-term, regenerative, sustainable environment for your wildest overflow to really expand over time. Because yes, one sessions are phenomenal. 6 months are phenomenal. All of these things create really radical, massive shifts in liberating your nervous system from the old money stories, the old money patterns that make money feel stressful or hard or exhausting or depleting, or where you're mismanaging your energy, where you're allowing for energy leaks to suck your life force, right? And shifting those into pleasurable, regenerative, life-giving, receiving in whole capacity, whole higher capacity with money. So those happen with short drop-ins, these short immersions, these one-off sessions, these 3-day portals like our wealth codes coming up in March, or like the in-person, the Here We Grow expansion portal that's happening in September with Living Brave Live. But for truly regenerative long-term growth, I know from personal experience, and I see this with my clients that have the most significant results that are long lasting. It comes from long-term support. That's why Wild Overflow Mastermind is intentionally 12 months long, so that I get to know you and your nervous system and your body and your business and your relationship to money, and we grow in our relationship together so that over time you get to create the kind of life, the kind of business, the kind of wealth that is going to continue to grow and grow and grow, because we've done the work to liberate the wounds, the stories, the resistance from the roots of your nervous system. So it's not a quick fix. It's not a band-aid. It's about long-term change that happens with time and consistency and devotion, so that you create a whole new baseline of what feels pleasurable and easeful for you with money. So whether you're desiring for 10K months or 10K minutes to feel like your new easeful, juicy, regenerative normal, this is the space for you to get to do that with the intimate support where you're getting to meet with me consistently and drop in and have coaching with me every single week. So when you join during the pre-party, you're going to get the lowest price possible and the Here We Grow live expansion portal.